want to welcome you back to Roland Morin's art studio. And today I'm actually in the studio, the physical place where I do paint. And I'm going to show you some of the steps that I use, real simple steps, how I go from the beginning of the painting to the very end of the painting. Now the size of this painting is actually 48 inches by 60 inches high. And then the edge, as you see, it's going to be a gallery edge. It's just going to be about 1.5 inches versus the 3/4 inch. Okay, so what I've already done already is I've cut out cut out all the parts, three-coated them. I primered the canvas 3 times, and I'm also going to paint another little circle around here. But as you notice, like especially here, you see a lot of lines and scribbly marks. That is telling me when I start painting, if you want to scroll in a little closer, it tells me I'm going to be painting all this over. So I just want to make sure that these lines are scribbled out. So when I paint, I'm going to be painting over and you won't see them when it's ended. Now, during the sketching period, first thing what I do is lay down, I divide the canvas up in half, throw a line down with a pencil, I go back over, throw a line down with a pencil, and I do the same thing here. So now your plumb lines are clean. I got to gauge I can gauge. I don't want to go like this and then go over this way. I want this line to help me with the sight. Then I'll do a horizontal lines, 3 lines the same way. That way I keep my painting level across, and it's going to be nice and clean. So that's been done already. It's been sketched. So now I'm finishing up. I'm actually finishing up the black paint part, and I can freehand all this, and I just go right around it, and it doesn't matter how neat it is. Just paint around it, because it's all the edges are going to be covered. And I did that heavy for a reason. So if you did see a drip like this, it's no problem, because it's all going to be painted over. So it's no problem at this point. You'll see how it goes around. All this is going to be in color. Okay, so here we are now. It's all in lines. It's all in black and white. And now the next step is to put my color scheme together, and then you'll see the color as it produces through the stages. Now we're going to begin putting in some color. As you can see, I put in some blue blocks, kind of bouncing at the painting in the beginning. I'm trying to keep my painting in balance with the colors that I'm going to use. So I want to spot some areas of blue, and then I'm going to go ahead and take some other parts of my palette, like the yellow and the red, and I'm going to do the same thing, kind of spot them in places and start filling in the painting. And at the very end, there'll be empty spots, and I'm going to have to find out what color will help balance or structure this part. Now, as you can see, my palette tray, what I have done was take the paint, and I would take a section with my palette knife and just put it there, fill it in, so I don't have to keep doing this and this and this. So I do it that way, and then I put a little bit of paint, a little bit of sand in my paint. What I would do, it's already been screened out, but I put it in a screener and just keep the small aggregate to go through, and the little ones to go through, and the big ones not go through. So I'll just take a little bit of paint, a little bit of sand, I keep saying paint, and I'll just touch it up like this, and it's already got sand in it, so I just put some more just to show you, and then I'll mix it up and get that grit. Now, while I'm painting the edge, I'm looking for a rougher edge, because the sand's going to give you a rougher edge. I don't want a smooth edge, and I want the texture when I finish the painting will be even throughout every part of this painting. But again, I want the edge to be a little more rougher. I think it's what my painting needs. And now I'm going to be moving on to some other colors. Okay, as you can see, we're moving on with some red paint. And I want to point something out that is really important to me. I want to get my wheels with my painting, so I can move it around. So if I want to move it around, I can pull it around here. If I want to pull it around, so you know, old piece of furniture like I did, take the drawers out and get a little dolly. You can buy them at little hardware stores and stuff, and screw it on there. And then you got something on wheels, and then I can go over here And I got a small amount of paint. I don't want to get cluttered up, so I got just a small amount of paint here, and then I just pull it back and forth and paint. So again, we're going to do a little red. You can see the red is moving around a little bit with the blue, and I'm just painting right now. And as you can see, I'm just trying to get a straight line. So I'm trying to get a nice straight line, and then I'll come back after and go into it a little better. And so I'm gonna finish this up in red, and then I'm gonna probably start maybe some yellow, and then I'll start spacing that out, and then things will start looking like something. Like you can start seeing the hand show up a little bit, and then I'll paint this flesh color. Then you'll see the clarinet, you know, you're showing up. You can now see, because of the color, you can see the lips. You can see the lips, and you know, it'll start taking shape. So we're only 2 colors into it. But when we get 3 and 4 or 5 colors into it, it'll really start looking good. So I'm hoping you're enjoying this video. Okay, now we're into the yellow. As you can see, I painted a few pieces, and I got maybe one more to put in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some paint to this, and paint this piece, and that'll be the end that I want to paint yellow. Yellow is a tough color to go over black. It doesn't cover real well, so you got to work it in. So I'm going to work that in, and you know, finish up with other colors. I kind of have an idea what kind of colors I want to use, but what I want to show you is the type of brushes that I use. Okay, and it's a flat brush, and you can see 3 different sizes. And I'll use this to get into the corners more. It makes a sharp corner. So I'll use a smaller one. And then when I'm like using a big area, I'll use this big one. Then I got a medium one. So this is basically what I paint all my paintings in. I like the flat brushes. Other than black, I do a different brush on that one. But as far as the finished painting, I like this brush right here. Now, I wanted to show you something. These are nice little things. We use those when we do shows, and you put prints on. But you could also, if you have smaller paintings, like, you know, maybe a couple feet, 3 feet, you could put them in there to dry. Okay, so if you got cell paintings and you're working in oils, which what I work in, I should have told you that earlier, but I am working in oil paint. You want to set them up, you just move them around your studio, and it'll dry. You have 3, 4, 5 days depending on the color. So that's a real nice item. You might want to buy 2, 3, 4 of them. They're not that expensive. They actually fold up. So I'll leave that alone. And so now, maybe you can help me out. What color should I paint next? So you see a yellow, red, and a blue. I got a color. Let's see if I can read your mind a little bit. What are you thinking? Purple. I think you want purple next. And I'm going to do purple next. So see you when the purple goes on. And as you requested, you see the purple being done. Now, I got some high spots. So not really good to get up there and try to draw straight lines. So I'm going to use a small ladder. You can see that one's well used. Go ahead and do that. See, it gets you up higher, and you have more control over what you're doing. Plus, you want some pretty good light. You know, get some like cool light for the lighting, and instead of warm. It'll be a nice and light, nice and bright. And I'm just painting, you know, getting it into the lines, filling it in. And again, I want to reiterate that I'm using sand in the paint. Every time I mix a color, it's in the ingredients to put paint in. Put some paint, sand in the paint. So let's call this a finished little purple. Now, the next color, I guess we should get together again and get a color. I'm feeling some green. How about you? You feel some green? Okay, we're going to go with the green on the next color. Now, before we close out, I want to let you know on the green, I wanted to let you know that if you could do me a favor and subscribe to my channel, it'll help me grow and the algorithms will, do their job. Also, push the like button. So if you can subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, it just helps me out. And if you like my work, like it. And I guess we're gonna go on to green. Okay, now you can see a little bit green. Nice little 5-color chart going on so far. But before I get started, I want to point out a couple things. I get these 200 size tubes, and I can use off everything by using this little device here, and it just squeezes every last bit of that stuff, as you can see, going out. So this is cheap product to buy, and you can save a lot of throwing things away and trying to squeeze that. Another thing I want to point out is that, when you start using oils and you start using turpentines and paint thinner and stuff, you really should, at the end of the day, put a cover on it so the fumes don't, even though it's odorless, I still think there's probably some fumes that could come out. So just cover over the night and keep it covered. And then on this particular piece right here, just put a name on it, whatever it is, paint, turpentine, whatever you use it, and cap it off for the night. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get painting. I'm going to finish up this green as it is, pouring my paint. Like I said, I got two brushes. See, with the sand and the paint, you got to go over the edge. It depends on how fine you want the edge. I like the edge to be a little rocky, a little rough. Not perfectly. It's not a computer piece. It's a hand-painted painting. So yeah, just paint it in, and just you can see the texture that the stone puts out there. And then sometimes, if you want to change brushes, like I'm doing here, and you want to catch the very tip of this corner, you can do that like really nice, and just bring it down, back over, and I'll have to hit this a few times, just layer the paint on. But I got a bigger brush to do that with. You can see the fingers. So now you can start seeing some of the definition that the painting is taking on, and it's starting to, what I call, come to life. Okay, I will and you could use, if you want to turn your brush like this and use it, you could use this. Sometimes I like to just use my finger and use my hand to kind of guide me a little bit, and it helps it from getting out of whack. And I'll finish this up a little bit. And now the only other thing is, I'm looking at the painting, and I think I'm going to bring in, some turquoise, and I'm gonna lighten it up, and then I'm gonna do some turquoise. And I'm still thinking about, as you start painting, you start seeing you want to know what the background. So all this is going to be filled in. I'm thinking it's going to be like a light lavender, white light lavender is what I'm guessing. But until I get all the primaries all done and all the inside done, I always use that to last. And a lot of times my wife and I will look at it a little bit and think, I wonder what it would look like with this, and then I'll put some paint there for a sample. Man, that's a little darker, baby. You know, just test it, because the background really makes it jump, the whole painting. So let me go ahead and mix up some turquoise, and again, I'll be putting sand in it, and then we'll see what the turquoise does for it. Voila! Now you see a finished painting. I guess the good paint fairy came and finished it up while I was taking a nap. Well, anyway, it's all finished. The edges are all cleaned up and finished with the same paint on the side. All the paint's going to have it has a sand finish to it, which is it's a rock hard. Nothing's going to fall off. It's good. It's really made with good oils, and I would recommend lacquering it in about 6 months, so it'll put a nice protective finish and give you an even sheen all the way around. If you don't want to hang it the way it is, I would recommend a black floating frame, and you see them in all the galleries. It's black, small edge, and it will really pull out all the black lines and it really will frame this really nice. So I would recommend, I hoped that you liked the video. I hope that you learned something maybe today. I showed you things along the way, and the only thing I would appreciate if you would smash the like button and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me with my algorithms, and I can keep bringing more videos to you. I'm gonna have a lot of fun videos coming in the future. So, and then I will sign this painting once it dries, probably somewhere in here. I'll sign it right there. It makes a neater signature when you do it when it's dry. So I do that, and then that's it. I'll say see you on the next video. Whoosh.